This is Danny Sterling and Dick Lowe. They're both former ag teachers. They're both former school administrators. They're both on all these ed committees. And they put up a bill. It was actually Sterling put it up and then Lowe jumped on. House Bill 1937 that sought to undo a law from last year that said teachers can no longer be texting individually with students, communicating, right? So they put up something saying, no, we want to give an opt-out. There was a lot of talk about how it's inconvenient for teachers. There are all these emergency situations where you should be able to talk to students one-on-one. People need to constantly understand is that the law that was in place from the previous year doesn't say that you can't communicate with a kid. If you're a teacher, a coach, an administrator, it says put a parent on the call, put a parent on the text. So none of it really made any sense. And then we highlight that Sterling, he was the principal at Tecumseh High School. One of his hires after he left to become a House rep was caught sending pictures that he shouldn't have been sent. You know, so there's a pattern of passing the trash that can be loosely tied to all of these legislators. And that's sort of been the policy. Currently, House Bill 1937, after the publication, they dropped the opt-out out of it. They got a lot of pushback about this bill, and they dropped the opt-out, but now the local school board gets to determine what an emergency is and make exceptions to that law. And once they had to put in there that once a student graduates or has a GED, they are fair game for school employees to be communicating with one-on-one. It used to say that violators of the law who were caught one-on-one texting with a student shall be put on leave pending internal investigation. Now it says they may be put on leave and that's up to the local school board. So it's not exactly a no tolerance law anymore.
Okay, stop. So they want local control, but I'm going to tell you that you have to have a cell phone policy. Make that make sense.
Right. The bill just next to it that flew through committee was no cell phones in school in the House. So what they were essentially saying is parents, you don't get to talk to your kids during the school day, but educators should be able to one-on-one with your kids 24/7.